Yeah, so it's probably just gonna be the DFZ community and whoever else has the
5.
link. Alright, so welcome to the game.
Who's playing what position? Do you know? Like, are you?
All I know is that Drona wants to go mid, and Nura, Shana, and Diablo are all fighting over who has to probably have
Team
to
One.
play against Drona. So
Okay. I, I saw your Sven game, by the way. It was really terrifying.
who's Sven?
ParADisE.
Oh, we got Rick there, dude.
Yeah.
Why people ban
Not
Squid?
Sven. Not Sven. The what's his name? The hero with whose anger issues. Troll Warlord. Yeah, the one with Techie's game. That
Oh,
was so
dude,
cool.
that game
Like
was.
you guys kept dying. Yeah, I saw.
It was so
Yeah,
annoying. Actually,
holy shit.
I don't know if you saw it, but basically, there was one
No,
point
I
where
saw the end.
there was one
Radiant's
point like we were winning really hard, and then we nearly threw the game because I gave the Aegis to Puck.
I don't understand why you guys
Dyer's pit.
you got the bottom barracks, you got the mid lane barracks, and you got back off.
We did back off.
And you went for
Nice fraud, nice
Megas.
fraud. You're cutting out like crazy.
You went for Megas.
I saw your mic.
Your mic going nuts.
Your mic is
that
being
better?
mine.
Is this better, right? Is this better, right?
Yes, it's better. Before that, it was sounds like you were running away from something.
It wasn't running away. The ceiling fan was making like it got a bit windy, so that's what was happening.
Okay.
Yeah, so like you got the barracks, and then like you guys backed off. Like maybe like you should have like went for the throne.
We wouldn't have killed it in time. And they were respawning. I know what you're talking about, but yeah, they were respawning, and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to get the throne,
I mean,
so I
yeah.
might as well not stick
Okay.
around and risk dying and force a buyback on myself.
10
Definitely
seconds
an
to go.
imperfect game, but yeah, we were able to just win because of better pick.
5
Because I got the troll
seconds.
against the Sven,
Yeah.
and
Oh, troll is a
outfought him
better
like crazy. I mean, Troll
Yeah.
beat Sven,
Yeah.
right, in a man fight, but they did have Beastmaster, they did have Wyvern, so it was a little harder than normal. But yeah, I think I handled myself quite well there. The big
Yeah.
mistake though was that I was telling the Ember to pick up Roche, and I thought he was gonna. And then he didn't pick up Roche, and
Yeah.
I didn't pick up Roche, and then the Puck came in and stole the Aegis. It
Oh
was
shit.
so bad. Like honestly, it was partially my fault for sure. But yeah, I was gone from the Roche pit for like 1 second, and then the Puck realized
Yeah.
that
Seconds to go.
nope, it did because it notifies everyone.
Oh yeah,
So
wait. Yeah. This was near the end of the match, right? Like
Oh
it
no
happened near the
this
end of
was
the
near
match.
the start, like 18 minutes in.
Oh, I missed it then. Like I saw. I started watching from when like you guys were like near the end of the match. You guys were going for the throw. Hold on a second.
Wait, whose music is that, guys?
I got a call.
Okay.
ParADisE. Why people ban Void?
Why would they ban? Nobody likes playing
10
against Void. It's just
seconds to go.
there's so many heroes that you can't play against the Void,
Dyer's
or that you'd
ban.
rather not play against the Void, and it's just something that's hard to deal with and worry about. Personally, he's the hero I've been banning pretty much every game. I think he's just too good. Like in lane, it's very rare for him to lose a lane, and like yeah, he can crush the game with his chrono. There's so many combos that work
10
so well with him.
seconds to go.
And basically, if you don't have Void on your team and you're against the Void,
5
you have to be able to take the
seconds.
first Roshan, or it's pretty much an uphill battle. Like you're really hoping that the Void screws up, but for the most part, it's quite difficult. So you need, if you can avoid having to play against them, you just ban them, dude.
But you can. We can play around Void cooldown. I mean Chrono cooldown.
It's easier said than done, right? Because like it needs a lot of coordination. It needs your team to all be willing to fight immediately after losing a fight, or being able to bring a fight that they should lose because Void has Chrono, and then they're able to survive or
10
at least be
seconds
even
to
with the
go.
enemy team. It's trickier than you might think, unless the Void
5
really whiffs
seconds.
his Chronos like constantly, in which case
Dire
fine, he
team
gives you an
ban.
opportunity. But generally you wanna, if you can, I just ban Void. It's just easier to draft like that and think about the game without him in it. Yeah, so Snapfire, Pango, on Radiant team, like they have their
10
options open.
seconds to
I know
go.
Drona plays Pango mid. I don't think it's gonna be a mid Pango.
5
It's,
seconds.
at the very least, it's very versatile. Snapfire can be played mid as a 3-4. They're not really giving up away much in the draft. Meanwhile, on Dire, you see like they already picked their 2 supports, right? So the problem with picking the 2 supports early is that there's some heroes that you basically counter as a support. So like Void is one of those heroes. Like most carries don't really counter Void. It's more like you rely on have your support being able to pick a Winter Wyvern,
10 seconds to go.
a Dazzle or something like that,
5
or an Oracle
seconds.
to save people, right? And because you pick your 2 supports and these 2 heroes can't really play anything but support, you're kind of locked in your draft, and the enemy knows, okay, we know who their supports are. We can start picking our offlane. We can start picking our carry. It just limits the options in the game.
Dire's
That's why
ban.
generally I like to think you want to pick. I think the best strategy is to pick a support, your more versatile support, and then you pick a core hero that can go play in a lot of lanes. So either mid or off lane usually. So that's where you can see your
10
Pox, that's where you can
seconds
see
to
your
go.
Konkas, stuff like that. And then a Snapfire is just a strong
5
support right now,
seconds.
strong
Dire's
everything.
pick.
And yeah, she can be played 4, 5, 3, or even mid. So, you know, she can be played in a lot of lanes that you can't really rule out. Not like Warlock and Undying. Like all Undying's good in lane, Warlock's good in lane, but the problem is these guys have no way
10
to gank.
seconds to go.
Like if they need a mid that can
5
do shit, like
seconds.
someone that can go out and gank, make plays, because Undying and Warlock can't do that at all. Like they have pretty decent team fight, but it's not, you know, you can't build your entire strategy around only team fighting, and in the meantime nothing else is happening in the game. So we'll just see what they pick up. I remember CK. Diablo said he wanted to play this as an offlane.
Dire's
Honestly, I really don't like CK offlane. I
Yeah,
don't like
CK
Wraith King offlane. I don't like Sven offlane. The problem with these kinds of heroes when you run them offlane is if they lose their lane, it's pretty much game over.
They don't build auras. They're not aura builders. Like they build.
CK doesn't
Right.
build
They
to
don't
go.
make auras. Like you don't need a Manta on CK
5
or something like those items to fight.
Basically, the problem with CK
Like-
offlane is you're gonna play him as a carry, right? And yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He doesn't build any auras. So whereas earlier with the first 2 picks, I'd say their team fight is
Radiant's
about
pick.
even. Now their team fight is worse. Now they pick a
Shauna
Terrorblade.
Terrorblade.
Yeah. Alright.
That's Shauna on Terrorblade.
So it depends on how good of a lane they get.
Farm. Like CK needs farm. Terrorblade needs farm.
10
Yeah, they screwed up with the
seconds
draft
to
here, I
go.
think. Unless they put metal on the
5
metal like from minute
seconds.
0.
Yeah.
This could be a difficult game for them. Especially like with the Phoenix, and like they have a Phoenix too.
Yeah.
So
And the
it
thing
can be like a
is,
Phoenix 4.
Terrorblade and CK both kind of get destroyed by
Yeah.
Snapfire and Pango. So they actually, I think they've drafted themselves into a really bad position. So at this point, I'll say if they don't win their lanes, or at the very least, they don't get very good lanes on pretty much all their cores,
Radiant's ban.
it's gonna be Radiant's draft to lose. Like you compare how balanced the drafts are.
Okay. Storm.
Why
It's a
did
free
they pick
Storm game.
Terrorblade? Yeah, there's just so much magic damage on the opposite team, and they still pick Terrorblade. I don't understand why they're doing that.
It's a very good Storm
10
game.
Yeah.
seconds
Yeah,
to
it's
Especially
go.
since
There
they
is no
banned
stun.
They don't
There is
ban
no stun,
Upstreak, right?
Seconds.
Support has no stun. Only stun is coming from CK.
Yeah.
So no lockdown. It will be free game for us.
Well, they don't need to. Yeah, they don't need to ban Earthshaker though, because All that
Why?
Radiant's missing is a carry.
Dire team.
So unless they go with a very weird draft, which can work for sure, but generally you don't expect to see it here. They probably aren't
They
gonna
lack
go
in the
with
mid,
Shaco.
right?
Storm is mid. Like I don't think
No,
he does
they need
well
a mid. They need a mid
on
player.
Dire.
Both
Yeah,
Yeah,
sides. Yeah, they're not
They
in the
they
balance.
they're going for
10
PA
seconds to go.
something. Yeah, they are going for PA. Wait, is it a PA good?
No, PA is bad here because the Terrorblade has a shit ton of armor.
yeah. PA is not good at all. Uh,
Any
Team
AoE
ban.
clearance and builds MKB.
uh Arc Warden.
Phantom Lancer,
Arc
yeah,
Warden.
Arc Warden,
Phantom
Phantom
Lancer
Lancer,
actually is really good. You're right. Actually,
yeah.
Phantom Lancer
They're going
destroys
for PA.
Terrorblade, and CK can't deal with Phantom Lancer either. They get countered. They're the exact same kind of
10
hero, and
seconds
they
to
get
go.
countered by the same heroes, and they've already been countered by the entire
5
enemy team.
seconds.
Phantom Lancer basically won't die because they don't have stuns.
Naga even. Naga not so much, or maybe I don't. I mean,
Naga is like
Naga can clear waves much faster than like I think
Dire's
Terrorblade.
ban.
Like she
Yeah,
comes online way too early. Like she comes online way too early for
yeah, but
Terrorblade
people
in
don't
my
really
opinion.
use that strength. But actually, Naga would be really good if they could play it. Like it's just great setup for the team fight that they have.
Yeah.
Like if you Naga song
Yeah,
into
I mean,
Phoenix Egg,
Yeah.
into
10
Phoenix Egg, and
seconds
then
to go.
there's
Holy
nothing they
shit!
can
Yeah,
do.
that would have.
but no one likes
5
Naga.
seconds.
Yeah, I don't like Naga personally. I find her too
Yeah, when I
hard to
said I
play.
was to play Naga, you're like, no, you're not playing Naga.
Naga is a harder hero to play, and you typically want to pair her with big team fight ults.
Radiant's pick.
But even without her ult, even if you completely forget she has one, she's just so good against CK. She's so good against Terrorblade. The only thing they have to deal with Naga would be a Warlock, in which case I really think PL would be a fine pick. Let's see if they go for it. Though. They have a lot of
10
reserve time.
seconds to go. 5 seconds.
They're gonna dip into some of it now. So unless Dire has like a really amazing last pick that right now I can't think of
Dire's
anything.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Ricky.
Ricky!
I
Ricky!
honestly don't like the Ricky pick. Like the draft was looking really amazing until the
Yeah.
Ricky pick. Yeah, I would have preferred PL. I would have preferred Naga. Ricky.
10
Ricky is
seconds
good,
to
like-
go.
He can clear the backline easily.
5
Well, the thing is, all
seconds.
he can clear is Warlock. Like,
Yeah, that's the
dying
point.
isn't really somebody you kill quickly, right?
But then Ricky comes online way too earlier than Terrorblade. I mean, we at this point we're just looking to counter the Terrorblade, right? I mean, CK
Yeah.
isn't really much of a hero we're concerned
Okay,
with.
they are going for early game. Like all the heroes Radiant has, all are early game. Like
And they're
Storm
very
comes
like
online first,
team fight, and they're like very heavy team fight.
and Ricky early game
Basically,
just needs one item.
yeah, that's true. But the thing is about Ricky is that he deals purely physical damage. Something. Oh my
Choose your
god.
hero.
What?
Oh my god.
What? Fudge,
You
man!
know what?
Oh
Let's
no,
just call it.
right.
Let's just call it now, okay?
I'm going with Radiant.
Radiant draft 100%. The Pudge pick, I don't think Nero was actually gonna play Pudge. But I think normally I don't say that the draft decides everything, but this time I really think it does. Like Storm shits on Pudge mid, I think. He can trade with Pudge
Yeah.
until he's level
Pudge
6.
is good if he doesn't take his hook till level 5 or level 7.
Oh, it doesn't work anymore because the Pudge passive is garbage again. So that's why Pudge isn't a good hero because he can't even sustain it. He has no armor, right? He has a lot of health, but Storm just needs to use a couple of his remnants properly, which I think it's Drone's Storm, so I think it's going to be more than fine mid. I think mid is going to be a total loss for Dire,
Yeah.
and top it's going to be... It can top at the very least it's going to go even. I
This
don't
should
think
be
they're going to win top.
interesting.
and bottom is going to be about even. We'll just have to see about this, how well Diablo does. I think this is the big wild card. If Diablo does okay, maybe they have a chance, and if Nura doesn't get crushed mid. But again, it's the problem, right? If this lane, if these lanes fall apart, I'm gonna be at a loss for what they can do from then on. The only good thing
How
about
would
the...
you?
What?
Yeah, go ahead. I was just asking, how would you, like, from your experience, how would you say Nura's lane mechanics are? Like, how would you rate them?
His harass is good. His last hitting is trash. Let's just say that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
His last hitting needs
okay.
work. Well, everyone here needs
It's almost time
needs
for
to work on their
everybody to
last
die.
hitting. But
Last
Nura in
hits.
particular
I'm
I-
does
the
get last
person here
hits.
who lost it.
Yes, I noticed that he goes like 100 on harass, and then I mean that's like it works against me. Like whenever I lane against him, he just dishes out so much harass on me that I can't even last hit in peace.
Well, yeah, it
And it just
depends,
ends
right?
up.
But it depends on the matchup. Sometimes all he should
Oh, he's
can
going
be
to hook
doing
the bounty.
is getting last hits.
He's kind of
Battle begins.
he's trying to go and hook the bounty. Oh, he did it.
Let's see what happens to everything.
First blood.
She
First
shouldn't
blood.
die
First
here,
blood.
but
Unless they. Oh, okay.
I think, well, since Nani is in bot lane, I think it's gonna go fine. So yeah, the biggest concern is what happens to near the Fudge. Storm should have seen that. Storm
Against Drone.
But you see this,
Oh
right?
shit! That's a bad placement.
Fudge is a melee hero. Oh wow.
Yeah.
But Fudge is a melee hero, and even against a ranged
All he
hero,
can do
he
is
can't
rot.
man up
All
to
he
the
can do
storm.
is rot. All he can do is use rot.
Look at this. He does rot and he
Yeah.
hurts himself.
All he can do is rot.
Judging by the fact that he's killed rot level 1 and he hasn't gotten a single thing from this lane yet, I'm just gonna call it as a complete loss for Fudge.
Yeah.
Drona can be
Got
really
3 last
aggressive.
This was over before it began.
And they drafted themselves into a really bad one. On the plus side,
And
they
like
are
once he
killing
gets,
Wolf
yeah.
this is too greedy. Is he no? Did he start with just 3 tangles? I don't think so. I mean, he shouldn't have, but he might have. Okay. Just a small thing. You shouldn't be auto-attacking small camp here. Especially this camp, because this can actually kill the whole wave.
Yeah,
You have to
this can-
deny. If you deny your own creeps, like the second they get below half health, this can actually wipe out your entire creep wave. So auto-attacking like that is really bad. Oh, Shana let it go under tower. Okay, so now the lane is gonna push top because Shana should have tanked it here.
Okay.
So that's his mistake there.
And they pull
the hard camp, right? They pull the
So
hard
yeah,
camp.
Radiant's doing a really good job here. Yeah.
Blown away!
Radiant's top tower
Punch
is
just
being
died.
attacked.
He's one level
Radiant's
behind
courier
Drona
has
already,
been
and
callously
it's only gonna get
wounded.
worse.
Dire's middle tower
Like
is
honestly,
being
Pudge
sieged.
isn't tanky. He's going for ATOS for stuff. Like Nura has no idea what he's doing. I think.
Yep.
He bought the salve, which is good, but I don't think it's
Storm.
gonna
Storm is going to snowball so hard this game.
Butcher block!
You see this, right? He's a melee. It's a range versus melee, and even in melee range, Pudge loses his trades. That's how bad he is as a hero.
What was it thinking?
Okay, he didn't take his passive, like no magic resistance there.
Yes, this is terrible. You can't max your rot and not get your passive because you're just dealing as much damage to you. You see this? So what's Nero gonna do? He's gonna run. He should run if he's smart, but he's dying.
But yeah, he's
Storm
gonna
can kill him
die.
actually.
He's
Storm-
fucking dead.
He can actually, yeah.
Cool guys, don't look at explosions. Alright, again, at least bottom is going well for Dire.
Bottom
so
is
it's not a
going
total
well.
loss, and Shana is doing good in last hits. So yes, Nura is getting destroyed mid, but we're gonna see what happens
Dire's
with
middle
Drona,
tower
like
is
how
under
he
attack.
exploits the lead he's gotten now. he should be able to get the rune, and I mean, Nira has no TP. Okay, this could have been good for Nira if he had a TP. He TP'd in, and then bullied the Storm away from the rune. Okay, he's TPing, but it's too late. I think Storm can shove the wave and just bully him. Storm's almost 6, Nira just turned 4, and there's an arcane rune bottom.
Yeah,
Oh dear lord, the humanity.
There's a reason people hate Punch.
Wanting this.
Uh-oh. That's a bad hook.
By the way, I don't like what Sean is doing here with the reflection. He doesn't need it, right? It doesn't do any.
Okay, the skill point. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it's a waste of a skill point. He could have gotten a second level in meta.
Yeah.
Basically, how you scale him is meta, conjure, meta, then conjure again. The only time you get reflection if you're against an Abaddon, a Venomancer,
or Venomancer, right?
stuff with passives, or somebody that built an Orb of Venom, maybe. But generally, you don't want to do it because this is like for your lane, and it doesn't help you jungle. But he's not getting shoved out of lane. Warlock should be on top of healing him, by the way.
I think he got it for a slow. Like I can see him like trying, like getting it for the slow.
It's not good enough for just too slow.
Yeah, but I agree. It's not a good slow. It's not. It's definitely not a good slow. It's like you said, Terrorblade lacks lockdown, so a slow is not going to be enough. Reflection for a slow is not going to be enough.
Yeah. So he's gonna slow down his next jungle because of his meta, right? And it's good you're maxing Conjure Image. I think you get 2 points in meta than max Conjure Image, so you can jungle. But another point here is that Terrorblade doesn't have the mana to cast his Q. Like, if he has mana, he should be using it on his Conjure Image.
And he seems to be like trying to like push out the lane, and he's using the jungle camp to just farm. Like he's using his illusions to just send out. Maybe not do that. Like
it's fine if he's doing it.
To
Honestly, at this point, I'd just leave the lane and continue jungling. Like there's not much to be gained by stepping in lane. That 42 nothing at XP. So long as he doesn't feed, it's gonna be fine. It's actually gonna be better for his team. So yeah, again, Drona can just keep shoving the wave and taking this, or he can keep shoving the wave, taking runes and farming, or ganking.
Okay, there's a double damage.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing against the Storm versus Pudge, you just have so many options, and the Pudge basically his only option is just sit in lane and get fucked. Like
Pudge can go and take it. He has vision on there.
Like, watch it. Pudge is dead. If Drona doesn't back up. Oh, no. Drona could have killed him actually. Drona could have completely killed him. That just comes down to familiarity in the matchup. But Drona can kill him now, so he's back to full out. And now, what's Nira gonna do? He's gonna keep buying out more salves, but it's not gonna work well.
What about the DD?
Now Storm has a DD. If Pudge returns to lane, it's over. If Pudge hooks Storm, all he did was save Storm a little bit of mana.
Problem is the Pudge doesn't really have any options right now. Like he cannot jungle.
That's a problem with Pudge.
It's a bad matchup. He can go gank, but then how do you set up a gank so early in the game?
And even if you do gank, right? Like if you hook the Pango, if you don't kill him in the hook and eat duration, he's gonna get away. Same with Phoenix. Same with Snapfire. Same with Ricky. Same with Storm. It's like an absolutely awful Pudge game, and I can't believe they wasted their last pick on this. So like, if anyone watching this recording ever learns anything, it's don't pick Pudge. Like holy crap, I cannot stress how bad this Pudge pick is. I think Pudge pause 5 is the worst. Pudge mid is a little better, but in this game in particular, it's really bad. Like he just doesn't kill anybody. Like, okay,
that's a good item for Ricky.
For who?
Ricky.
Yeah, it could be good in Ricky.
I
didn't want it though.
It does give damage, like damage. You can get the.
Oh my god!
Pop your DD, Pop your DD,
Dead.
Now what? Drona can kill him, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead.
Honestly, Drona already misplayed that. He could have done it with losing less health and mana. But yeah, this is exactly the point. Nira can't run from Storm, and Storm can always run from Pudge. It's
8 minutes and Storm is 3-0.
okay. So in Nura's defense, he is laning quite well considering that it's a Pudge versus Storm mid. But again, I'm just gonna say it's not a good matchup. It was not a good pick. And I always stress how bad Pudge is, and it's not just me memeing. It's just this really happens so often. If the enemy mid is even somewhat competent, they're just gonna not die to you. And now what?
You literally just have to avoid the hooks, and you can easily do that by just standing in like near the
honestly,
creep
against Storm versus Pudge, he doesn't even need to avoid the hooks. That's how bad this matchup is. Like he could sit there and tank it, and then thank Pudge for saving him mana, so that he didn't have to zip there. Okay.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
Again, the only reason I think that Dire has a chance right now is because Radiant picked this Ricky. I really don't think it's a good pick against Dire.
Yeah.
But it looks like Drona is going to forgo ganking early on. Let's see who gets the bounties. And he's just gonna focus on getting his orchid, which is a fine thing, honestly. It's good against Terrorblade, it's good against Warlock, it's good against Undying.
Okay, this time ParADisE gets it.
Sorry?
This time ParADisE gets the rune. You didn't take it?
Stupendous.
So it's... Oh, what? Did they not
Can be
scale their ult? Okay. It's a bit weird. I think... Look at this. The Storm doesn't give a crap.
Why did he get shielded? Yeah.
The Storm
He's 2 levels ahead at
There's
this point.
nothing. It's like, okay, you hit me now what?
Maybe that's I admit it.
So long as the
But,
Storm
like-
isn't 0 mana, I just don't see how they kill him.
Yeah.
This game.
Skin you for that.
I think Shanna
Like,
coming back
Drona-
to lane is a bit of a mistake. Like, yeah, okay, he can farm this,
Yeah,
kill
it's
the
deflection.
cart, and then I'd like to see him leave.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think he does anything here. And then
Like
this...
maybe get his tower. Oh, okay. Oh,
So that's my
okay.
problem again with Terrorblade with
Yeah.
Shanna on the comments. So that's typically why I try to avoid laning again as a Terrorblade. Usually I'll send an illusion to push this out, or again, just leave it to your support to get the farm. You can farm
Why did he
this-
use meta on that? Like, I don't understand.
I
the need
actually
for
wasn't there when he
meta.
started the meta, but yeah, there was no objective to be taken. This tower does not matter. The enemy, this tower doesn't matter. So it's not worth popping meta for that.
Oh,
I would have honestly.
oh, so you
preferred-
want to? So you just want to defend the safe lane tower. You don't want to take the off lane tower unless you're like really far ahead from the off laner, like in terms of.
Okay, that's a good rotation.
Has been fortified.
But again, look,
Yeah,
Nura hasn't
okay.
contributed anything to the game. Like he's literally shown up and done nothing yet.
Yeah.
They should
Waste
just
of
run
an
away.
egg. Waste of an egg. Waste of an egg. Waste of an egg. Waste of an egg.
It's okay. It wasn't the best egg, but it wasn't complete waste because they did kill the mid punch.
No, yeah, you should be pressing top right
Let's just
now.
check the
Meta
net.
could have been useful.
Okay, so look at how far ahead Storm is. This is another problem with picking a weak laner, is you basically give the enemy laner like a free lane.
Although,
Keep making moves
terrible.
like this. And what's Terrorblade gonna do? Storm can run away. He should Sunder. He's still dead.
Okay. So like the only saving grace here is that the off lane, like Terrorblade and Chaos Knight may like they're more farm than the Ricky.
Yeah, that's true.
That is their
That is the saving grace.
Terrorblade.
But look at how
They
crazy
have
the
a
Storm.
chance.
Storm has his Orchid already.
Yeah.
The 87 lasts. Maybe he could have gotten a bit more, but I would have liked to see him farming jungle more. But yeah, as soon as he gets his next rune and he clarities up once or twice, he can just basically kill anybody in the game. It doesn't matter who. and again, this is another problem when you pick such a weak mid laner. It's like the enemy mid laner, even if they don't kill you, they can just ignore you and farm and get crazy, like the Storm is. I do not like Drona's move right now. He needs to regen his mana. Like, at this point, it's kind of similar to a TA that's fat. Like, their biggest enemy is themselves. So, like... Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's wasting his time. If Warlock's good, he just backs up, and then nothing happens. So Drona's just delaying his next item.
So whenever you gank, okay, you said you should just farm.
Yeah.
You think you should just farm? But why should he farm?
Because
I mean, there's a Terror Blade.
Like half mana, okay? He didn't have a rune to top up afterwards. So if he goes for a gank right now, even if he kills somebody, which is... Oh, Earthy shouldn't have taken that. Storm would have liked that. But yeah, basically he did the exact same thing, except he does it 1 minute late because he decided to go gank top with no real target, with no plan, right? And instead, so he's back to farming anyway. This is why I don't like doing that kind of a move. I think Drona can definitely gank, but he should time it when he gets a rune. Because even if he did get the gank, the problem is right after, he won't be able to farm because he's burnt all of his mana doing the gank.
Yeah, John doesn't have a man on Pango.
Well, I'm not even talking about Pango here. They can actually kill you.
Yeah, he's solo kill. He's 3 levels ahead. Oh, what?
Drona was styling. He knew he was dead.
Yeah, he was styling. Yeah.
Cool guys, don't look at explosion. Shana's getting good farm though. But yeah, look at this. Storm is double the Pudge's net worth in 15 minutes. How?
Yep.
Right? I mean, you know how. They pick Pudge mid, but like...
Yeah, I mean,
don't pick Pudge mid. I'm gonna shit on this all game because I really want people to get it through their big fat heads. Stop picking fucking Pudge mid.
Oh, he wasted his ult.
And now Pudge comes in.
Pango
He's gonna miss his hook. Even if he hits the hook, Pango's gonna run away.
Yeah.
Okay. So what now?
What's
he gonna do? Okay, he's gonna hook. Watch this.
Oh no.
Now what?
And he
cancelled his ult actually, so that's even worse.
And that's a dead.
That's a dead.
Or maybe
very dead. That's very dead. And I think Yura is dead too because he's been burning his own health. Oh, John screwed up. John screwed up there. Like, he didn't use his Q, but that should have been a dead Pudge for nothing.
Yeah.
But still, right?
Tower is under attack.
So now that CK has left the bot lane, Ricky's getting his free farm. His defusal is really late, by the way, but I don't think it matters. So long as Drona and his team are able to keep... The reason I don't like the Ricky is because it puts his team on a timer. If Drona and the rest of his team, I think the captain here was Capcan. Yeah, if they make too aggressive moves and find themselves dying once or twice, then Dire starts winning because Shana is just a much better carry. The Terrorblade is a much better carry than Ricky is, and Ricky doesn't counter Terrorblade in any way. So this is the issue now.
I don't understand how Ricky has left from the Chaos Knight, like in lane. Like, did he lose that lane?
This is what I mean though. So now they're being a bit too aggressive. Like, they're sending 2 heroes again into the enemy triangle. This is really bad. But again, right? If they weren't doing this, if they were instead focusing on extending their farm, taking towers, and then ganking when they could, it would be a different story right now.
Double damage.
I think Ricky should have gotten a Battle Fury. Like, he doesn't need to participate in early fights. Like, typically you want Diffusal Blade, but like again, Storm is just stomping so hard, I don't think you need it. They're not gonna kill CK. Unless CK does something really bad. Even then, I don't.
Oh yeah, no.
Unreliable!
Yeah.
Like, way before, it's like just the damage output. This is what I mean though, they're making really aggressive moves that are really dumb.
Oh shit.
So that's what happens with this Ricky pick. Now I'm getting a little nervous for Radiant. Because they should have
No,
won
the
this.
Ricky done his diffusal.
Sorry?
Ricky done its diffusal, so we can fight now.
Yeah, but
Or
if that was their plan, if they were waiting for the Ricky to get his defusal so they could fight. Why have they been fighting before the Ricky got his defusal? That's my question. So again, you're just giving Terrorblade time and space to
Dire's
farm.
bottom tower is
Yeah.
under attack.
And there's just nothing you can do about it. I would pop a Clarity.
Yeah.
I guess he's getting the Manta for the disarm.
Shana is late though. Shana tries to aim for like 15 minutes Manta, and he got this one like I think like 18 minutes or something. So he is a bit late though.
He's a bit late, but he's still doing fine. You know, he's
Yeah.
right behind the heels of the Storm Spirit. And the way that the Storm is playing right now, I think they might just lose it.
Radiant's middle tower
Like now
is
that they
being
have the
attacked.
defusal, this Ricky should
Radiant
top
has
up his
fortified
mana,
its
and they should
structures.
they should take top tower. Then what they want to do,
Dire's top
so they can
tower
win
is
their
being
fights,
attacked.
is force the TV to ult and just run away. Their entire team is really good at doing it. All of them can
Make the meta.
Yeah, sorry, his meta. I consider it his ult because
Yeah, no, that's true. No, it's very true.
in my
certain
mind it's
sense.
always that's his ult. So like, yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah.
called
Yeah,
meta,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
not technically his ult.
I mean,
But again, this is
Terrorblade
what I mean by
defined
this
more by
with
the meta
stupid
than
aggressive
meta.
moves because now he has no mana,
Yeah. He's dead. Storm is dead. Storm
right?
is dead.
Like again,
Oh, that's a lot of
like
gold.
you bought Ricky, you bought a fighting item on Ricky, and then you
Yeah.
decide, and then he has a
You
cow, and you
farm it, and then
decide
you
to keep
farm it.
farming anyway. Like if he
Yeah,
was gonna
and you
do this,
farm.
I would have preferred a Battle Fury. So at the very least, he can keep up with Terrorblade because at the rate this is going, he's never gonna get the same farm as Terrorblade is, unless Terrorblade just keeps dying in fights. But I don't think Sean is gonna let
Dire's
that
bottom
happen.
tower is being attacked. Dire's
Overall,
Ricky's
though,
on
the
the
game is
pusher.
quite balanced still. Like,
I mean, yeah.
but again, I'm actually leaning towards Dire right now because Dronas failed.
He's
to
doing the
balance.
battle fury now.
Despite the
bottom
punch,
tower is
despite
under
the punch
attack.
pick, I think
Despite the
Shana
punch
will be
pick.
will.
Yeah,
Chana will be
very
very
despite the punch pick. Like if they had picked anything else, it
Dire's
would have
bottom
worked even
tower
better
is
for
under
them.
siege.
The Ricky pick was, I think, what's really okay. He's going Battle Fury now. You see, but then the thing is, he's not fighting. So unless he
It's
picks
not
a
a farming
fight,
item.
yeah, he's building
It's a
a Battle
farming
Fury.
item.
He recognizes it, but he recognizes it 4,200 gold. How much is it?
Yeah, for the other
For
200.
3,150. Oh, my bad.
Oh, I see.
My math is so wrong. Anyway, yeah, he recognized it 3,150 gold to it. So basically, if he just bought the Battle Fury, he'd almost have it already.
Radiant's top
Instead of
tower
have
is
it
under
in the-
attack.
And you.
Wait.
and then
Oh, he
you
cancelled
bind
his
your-
roll! Tango should have survived that, and he just cancelled his roll.
Oh,
He's dead.
with the two.
Earthy's dead.
Yeah. Okay, that's gonna win this. That's gonna win this.
Okay, so basically what happened is that Dire gave Radiant the freest game possible.
Yeah.
And then Radiant just gave it right back.
Structures have been
So,
Yeah.
again, what was the point of fighting here? Like, the tower
Yeah.
was dead like 10 minutes ago.
They have so much pushing potential. They could easily get another tier.
Ricky is going to fight here.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah.
Pango
They
made a
can't do
mistake in his fight though. Like he cancelled his ult and then he died
Yeah.
because of that.
Has fortified its
Then he
structures.
messed up his Q and then he died for that. So, yeah, it's mistakes, but those are more mechanical mistakes.
Skadi almost completed terribly.
But you see right how little damage Ricky does to CK.
Yeah.
It just doesn't do anything. Like this Ricky pick just actually ruined what was
Yeah.
a really good draft. Otherwise, they saw him. Yeah, again, unreliable, misses hook. Like if Storm were on the other side and he saw the Ricky up here, he could have just killed him, right?
Yeah.
Because Storm is a much more reliable mid laner, a better mid laner, scales better, right? All Pudge has going for him is the Arcana. And I mean, Hero doesn't even have it. So. Pudge is literally trash.
The persona, right?
Was it oh yeah, it was a persona.
Radiant's
My
top
bad.
tower is
No,
under
he has an
attack.
Arcana and a Persona. Yeah, like
You weren't
both
paying
of
But I'm
them.
talking about like the new one in the battle. Yeah, so it's
The Persona. Yeah, that's the Persona.
the one where they like. So again, look at this, right? Captain is farming
Yeah, this is
without the battle
such a
fury.
waste. It's just
He
such a
should have
waste.
it already. He would have it.
Bottom tower is under siege.
But yeah,
He should be in team fights right now. It doesn't make sense to like have a fighting item before a farming item. Like
on Ricky it usually does because even when you fight, you even when you want to farm, you typically get defusal because it's just so strong on you. But in this game in particular, since Capcan hasn't been doing anything, either I would want him to get the defusal and their team to start fighting around it, or he gets Battle Fury and just continues farming. But then the question becomes, if you're gonna pick a hero that built Battle Fury, why did you pick a Ricky? Right? Like they picked that into the Terror Blade. They knew that this was gonna happen, and then they picked Ricky anyway. So that's my issue here. I don't know what carries were available, but basically anything else.
it's
The
smoking.
storm is
Oh,
in
storm
smoke.
is.
But it's okay, he can jump in, right? It's fine. They shouldn't take this rune. And they take the rune. But again, the reason you don't take the rune is say the Dire had a one here. They see
they see
this
the
rune
rune
go
not
missing
missing.
and then pings go out. Sometimes people aren't paying attention, but that was a waste. Step double. Okay.
Oh, and
Wow.
another deck too. And another.
Wow. That's called a waste because I like what they did. And they killed the CK. And then from here they could have gone top. But then they popped an egg, they popped an ult, but the CK was already almost dead. That was just questionable.
Oh, yeah.
So if Dire
And
realize
Blade
this,
is
they
like-
can actually take the fight now because all of their big ults
Dire's
besides
top
Snapfire
tower
is
under
gone.
attack. Let's watch
They can fight this and they should fight this.
I know it's not as
Yeah, they're
much
going to
as
take a fight there.
But
they're going
Dire's
to
top
fight a fight.
tower is under siege.
And now look what Radiant has to do. They're fighting 4v5 and they still have to run away.
Oh, why did he go in the?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Dire is gonna win. Oh, Sonic dead.
Oh shit, he got a good. Oh, nice.
Wow. Can't believe Dire managed to lose that one. But that's the thing about Snapfire versus Terror Blade, is that Snapfire can just do that thing. Drone is dead actually. He doesn't have mana.
Yeah, mana. He's dead. And there are like so many. Oh,
Okay, so Dire still wins. Okay. This is what I mean though, like they didn't have an egg. They didn't have Pango.
Yeah.
And this is what happens because they blew it all on the kill that they already had. And Earthy realizes Shana was TV. Alright. Alright. It's okay. It took Shana a while to realize Earthy was a girl. So I guess it's even Stevens.
No, even that was Diablo. Diablo didn't know that
Oh, was
stuff.
that
He
Diablo?
Yeah, that was Diablo.
Oh, I thought that was Shana. Okay.
Oh, that was Diablo.
Okay, this is fine. I would send my illusion bot. Dire really wants to take this tower. Like, it's so low that TB could actually just send his Manta illusions to kill it, like right now.
What item does Terrorblade need? Like, is okay. So BKB, right? So BKB is his like final item, and then he should be like ready for team fights.
Yeah, I mean, he's already ready for team fights. But yeah, BKB and he's good. I would have maybe taken BKB before Scotty. But, yeah. Because usually when you get Scotty, you don't want to get BKB because you just want to build other items to let you tank, like Satanic, right? And then just go full greed, right-click build. But
Would you have recommended drums this game or the Terrorblade?
I recommend drums almost every game. Yeah, for sure. It lets you kill the Phoenix egg faster, it lets you run and dodge.
Even when you have a bad lane?
Huh?
Even when you have a bad lane?
Yeah.
Like, Shana went to jungle earlier.
Oh, Paladin Sword. Shana wants that. Okay, good. Shana got that. Ricky gets the Paladin. But it's not as good on Ricky. Again, he got his Battle Fury, right? But he could have had it at 21 minutes, which is still a bad time, but it isn't as bad as a 20
Wait,
minute
does the Battle Fury work with his the trick of the trade? Like,
Yeah,
does it
yeah,
work with that
Dyer's
too?
bottom
Like, if
Yes,
tower
yes,
is
yes,
under
it works.
siege.
But that's not really why you get it. I mean, it helps you farm faster. Like, you can use your trick of the trade here, and there's the skill thing.
I think like, oh shit, yeah, that's a good.
I'm dead.
So I'd say Dyer has a 85% chance of winning right now. Like, there's still
Yeah.
definitely the opportunity for throws, but Dyer isn't solidly in control of this game. Yeah, I like Daedalus and PB.
Terrorblade is still vulnerable to the egg though, right? The Terrorblade can even without the BKB and shit, he's still vulnerable to the egg. Okay, he's dead. I will throw.
The throws of a lot.
Why did he do that? Why did he do that?
Exactly, that's the thing. When you're a storm, you have to take the short kills. You don't want to go for these risky gambles unless you're really,
Radiant's
really
bottom
good.
tower has been
Because then this
destroyed.
happens. You start dying a couple times.
Why?
Now the Terrorblade is 5,000 net worth ahead of you.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just an absolute disaster.
Did you not see like the
Terrorblade has a meta, he can take this tower.
Radiant's
They can
bottom
take this
Yeah.
tower and they can't defend it. I don't even think they need the meta, honestly.
yeah, I mean they can really push it with the golem. Like the golem is very efficient at pushing. They don't even need meta.
They don't need a golem. They don't need you only need the golem to stun before you go.
Okay.
They didn't even need, honestly, they didn't even need
Radiant's
Terrorblade.
fallen.
Like, that's
Yeah.
how bad
Tower
that
is
was.
being attacked.
That's how far behind Radiant are right now. Because Ricky needs to be ahead to be able to do his job. And against the Terrorblade, it just doesn't work.
Already getting picked off.
Enchanted Quiver is good in Storm. It's good on Ricky. But they should use it. I think it's very helpful, especially against Terrorblade. It gives magic damage. It goes straight through his armor. So, yeah.
Ricky in this game should have probably gone diffuser, doesn't been very active on the map, and like rushed an MKB. Like, don't you think?
I think he could have gone Battle Fury. I would have wanted, like, honestly, with the way Capcan plays, I would have wanted to see him go Battle Fury into Diffusal, into Manta, into an arcade.
Why Manta? Or Manta should why?
Because
Manda clears the
Ito,
dash.
Oh, okay. Dead. Oh, he's alive.
he should be fine.
Yeah. Oh, you're complaining. Oh shit.
That is way
Just TP
closer
out.
than it had any right to be. But anyway.
He's wasting mana on like escapes. He should probably TP out in the trees.
Like, Drona's trying to go back in, but I just don't know how it's gonna work. Like,
Why
there
is
are
he
only
standing
3
there? Should
heroes. Oh, the Warlock. Okay. The Warlock was just really out of position. Like, again, the position 5 should not be in the front. Undying can be in the front, right? Because he's Undying. Pudge can be in the front. CK can be in the front. Hell, even Terrorblade can be in the front. But Warlock should never be running here. And if he was saying he's warding there, then he just opened up his team to dying.
Oh, they died.
Like, if they lose this fight, it's because Warlock decided to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost the fight. So this is what I mean, right? This is the 15% chance I was talking about. Like, if you throw the
Why
game,
isn't Terrorblade with this team? Why isn't Terrorblade? Okay, he doesn't have meta. Oh no, he does have meta.
he's building his
Dash
Daedalus.
meta.
Like, Ice Fraud, you should know this, right? You've seen what Daedalus does on Terrorblade. Wonderful.
I mean, but he
thing.
does have Crystal West. No, I mean he does, but like he does have a Crystal West, right? I mean, Crystal West
Yeah, I
is.
know, but he's 300 gold away from his Daedalus. Does he really want to fight right now? His team was in the wrong for being here.
Okay. Yeah, that is what I meant. Like, give this you.
So yeah, again, they're giving an opportunity for the Radiant team to win, when at this point, they should be completely... It should be almost completely over. I mean,
Dyer's top tower.
let's see what
is
they
under
do with it,
siege.
right?
Yeah.
Problem also with Ricky is that he can't really take Roche. You could just
Why
kill
is he
this
going
guy.
after
Why
him?
are you running? He should already be dead.
He probably thought that his team was there. So, oh shit.
He's dead.
Okay, so that's like the delayed reaction. Like, if he just decided to jump 42-0, he could have killed him. At the very least. Or he could have decided to leave. But then he couldn't decide whether he wanted to fight or leave. And then he didn't decide on either and just found himself dead. Looks like they're making a call for Roche. Okay, that's beautiful. This is beautiful. This is beautiful by... yeah. Butterfly. Typically I don't like it, but Ricky is nowhere near an MKB. I don't even think he's considering it, honestly. So it's fine. Fine if he gets it. I would want him to get it. Shanna gets it. That was a very good call. I think that was Shanna making that call.
At this point, do you want to wait for the next meta, or you just want to go ahead and push?
Oh, you definitely want to wait for the next meta. I mean, you can push, right? A little bit. But don't take any hard fights. So since they're this far ahead, I'll say you can take this tower, but you don't want to go high ground. You can take this tower, you can take this tower, and then once your meta's up, then you can go up high ground. Or they could choose to not throw and just keep farming. Because honestly, late game, they're gonna win. Because of Terrorblade. And because Ricky is just so bad against him. But again, Agent 008 got caught. Oh, he didn't cancel his death! Oh no, the mechanical errors. Okay, yeah, now they can go high ground. The Agent 08 should buy back, but he doesn't have any. Let's see what they do. Oh, Yura's throwing. Yura was throwing it. What the fuck is he doing, man? Sunder! Terrorblade! Sunder! Oh, he still has an Aegis. Even if they lose this, the Storm buying back is very costly. I think
the damage. Okay, meta and 20. 15 minutes arrive.
I think they're gonna win this fight still. In spite of the fact that they don't have meta.
Yeah.
I think the safer play would have been made to call to back up off high ground until... yeah, Ron is pretty nice.
Oh, yeah.
Shana last hitting creep. The buyback doesn't do anything.
Game over.
How exactly did he heal so quickly, Shana?
Sorry?
How did Shana heal so quickly?
Sundered.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, I would consider a Satanic over Sunder. Because there were a few scary moments where Shana ran out of HP.
You have a balance out though, right?
Yeah,
we don't have
but
that
Paladin
item.
Sword heals you, gives you lifesteal, but Satanic gives you basically a second life with your right clicks. They do a similar thing, but... and Paladin Sword works really well with Satanic. Basically, if you hit even once, you're back to half health, and twice you get full health. So it's still pretty good. They can keep pushing. Two of them are dead. They don't know if they know Storm has no weapon. Actually, they can just keep pushing. Because even Terrorblade, even without meta, is scarier than a 4v5 meta. You could consider them
without his illusions is pretty scary, like from what I have seen.
Yeah, Terrorblade's scary, period.
No meta, no illusions.
I would have wanted him to save for buyback. Wait a second. Now the next play for Dire is to wait for the next Aegis, and then they go. Shana has to keep up on TPs. Okay, good. You got that. Okay. So at this point, I really don't know how Dire is gonna lose. Like, they took a very sloppy fight. Nura basically fed at the mid-tier tier 3, and it still didn't matter. So, like, I'm not sure what would matter. Like, maybe...
basically, one mistake after another,
and they still won the team fight. But then again,
Still Dire going to win.
From both sides. Like Radiant made a mistake, then Dire made another mistake, then Radiant made another mistake.
Sure, but I mean, the thing is, Dire can afford to make mistakes. They just have a better carry than than the Ricky.
Okay, that.
So it's not gonna die.
Why?
It's not even
yeah,
close.
I don't know.
Honestly. And look, drone is out of mana, so this is the problem. If Storm doesn't deal enough damage while running out of mana, this happens, and then it just becomes not scary at all. And the only time that Storm can have enough mana is if he doesn't keep dying and feeding. But the Storms, 12, 6,
Fudge is
and
now
5.
almost equal. Fudge is now almost equal net worth to the Storm. How the tables have turned.
Oh my god. Oh my lord. I think the Ricky pick really did something. Look at how ineffective he is. Okay, what's he?
I remember the preemptive BKB. Oh shit, oh shit.
Look at the Capcan. Like, he bought back and they still don't give it.
Yeah. And now what? Okay. I got it.
Radiant's bottom barracks is under attack. Bottom barracks.
That's bad.
That's tragic.
Fuck.
Oh, really?
Radiant's middle tower has been destroyed.
On it.
Radiant's ancient